going to start recording now. Kuz, I know you had a bunch of questions. You got other guys got any questions at all? Are you able to go on to audio at all? Anybody want to do an audio? Just type away yes and I'll unmute. Actually, everyone's unmuted. If anyone wants to put out a question. I know you had a bunch of questions, Kuz. I hope I got your enunciating your name right. Anybody got questions? It's all about you guys. That's what we're doing this for. I have no formal presentation at all tonight. I want to make sure that I'm satisfying you guys, getting what you need. That's what this webinar is all about. Are you guys understanding what I'm posting on the last week or so on the econometrics and the finance toolboxes for Matlab? The video's okay? Am I doing the right thing? Just let me know. Because I can address Kuz's questions. Kuz, you had a bunch of questions. You want to type them out or you want to speak them out? We've had a bunch of questions already. I've already posted online regarding overall from actually these are from you. What am I saying? I'm not sure if you got my answers. I put them up on a separate posting. I can show that to you if you like. But if you have any further other questions, let me know. I'll put up the link for you. This URL for you, Kuz, I addressed already. Just put it up in the chat there. I can go over it if you like. Got Marvino coming in. Hey, Marvino. I have to block you out. Sorry, dude. Okay. We're just getting started, Marvino. If you got any questions, just type them out in the chat mode. But I'll go through Kuz's quite a long email, which is fine. Okay, so what he asked was about he was asking some questions about thanks for the compliments, Kuz. I want to make sure that I'm addressing everything that you guys need in terms of the direction I'm going with a membership. Going over some very basic stuff for strategy building and working from the ground up, basically. All the algorithms, and now I'm getting into the math with the math and the soon Statistical Tool Box. So I'll be doing that over the next few days. Okay, so let me get into Kuz's email here. Yeah, it looks like you're obviously online. It's 1 o'clock where he's from in the Netherlands. Okay, so you want to emphasis on the software Matlab? Yes, I am doing that, obviously. Overall trading system. As you can tell, it's quite a lot of steps involved. Now, because of, I don't know if you guys have heard about the new Matlab 2013A with some of the new features where you can trade directly out of Matlab with XTrader or a Bloomberg service. That greatly impacts what I'm doing. So I mentioned that in this little blurb here as part of that response. So I need to further test it and I need to get my hands on that functionality, because if it does the job, there's no point in moving into all these external trading platforms. Obviously, you try to keep your life simple, but integrating another trading platform is a big headache, as you can imagine. XTrader would just be purely used for execution and trading, executing your trades. Okay, so Koos had some questions about a data center, specifically FPGA related or high frequency trading related, having a direct feed input right into let's say an FPGA environment. Okay, as I said before, I don't know if you guys have been following me day by day, but what you're referring to, Koos, here, using something like a VPS or an NinjaTrader, that's obviously not going to be high-frequency trading. What you're talking about, you need to be direct market access right on the exchanges, which is very expensive. I don't know what your budget is in terms of what you can afford each month, but you're looking at probably about $5,000 a month to trade on each exchange. There is some services that enable you to do it. One service that I know of is called Line Brokers. It's very expensive, but it's really meant for kind of hedge funds and just large. We'll just leave it at 7-digit type of operation, so $1 million plus. To really pull it off properly using a service like Line Brokers, you'd have to use probably start at around $5 or $10 million capital. So I'm not sure if that's something that you have. Back to this email here. Obviously, you're referring to high frequency trading. You mentioned all these different types of services available. You got your VPS, virtual private server, dedicated server, a server with a GPU card, a server with an FPGA. If you ask me, I'll go with a dedicated server with FPGA. I'll explain the difference between FPGA and GPU. This is what you're trading, I guess, is stocks, forex, and futures trading. That will pretty well be the same as what I'm doing. Now, when it comes to FPGA versus GPU, I totally agree with what you're saying here. Ultimately, for the lowest latency, you want to go with FPGA. It sounds like for you, Koos, that you're mentioning you got this Vertex and Spartan boards from Xilinx. You're probably a lot farther ahead than I am in terms of experience. I mean, I've played with GPU, but I don't have a development board for FPGA. As I said, you mentioned here Xilinx, which is obviously one of the standard boards or hardware manufacturers for FPGA. Also, you mentioned here, how can you integrate FPGA into a server? You ask about what kind of server and what kind of broker can you use. As I mentioned, Line Brokers is probably a place to start. Now, for FPGA and where to go for to purchase FPGA hardware, this company always comes up when I do searches. The DINI Group, D-I-N-I Group. They're out of the U.S. So here's their website. So it might be a place to start. Obviously, they'll be kind of expensive, I'm sure. But that seems to be a standard company to go to. There's a lot of other manufacturers, but in terms of what I've seen, this is the company that seems to be the standard right now. Now you ask about GPU versus FPGA. Which one do you prefer? I prefer FPGA. Just due to the fact that, as far as I know right now, is that, let's say with GPU, you have a big data set, you want to do a calculation on your GPU, like a CUDA board. You have to send over the data to the GPU. So you have to allow time for that. But the thing is, with FPGA, this sort of limitation does not exist. Now you did mention the the GPU Direct. I've heard about that through CUDA. I can't really comment on what advantages that has because I've not really tested it. But I can tell you this, is that FPGA has farther advances than CUDA. It seems that CUDA is trying to play up with, GPUs trying to play catch up with FPGA. So I'd say FPGA is a lot farther along. Good example of that would be wireless remote networks that they're developing now in the States. And you can go on and on about it. I do include a link on where to go to understand how to do FPGA within Matlab. I've talked about the use of FPGA with Simulink, and that's the direction I do intend to go. That's through. Hang on here, let me just mute somebody. Sorry, man. Hang on here. That's Kelly. Hey, Kelly. Okay, so back to the FPGA. Yeah, I mean, this is a good place to start to understand how MATLAB or MathWorks is implementing FPGA. There are still some limitations with FPGA in the world of MATLAB. A good example is some hardware like a model simulator. This link will direct you or show you that. That piece of software is like about $20,000, but from the latest version that I've seen of MATLAB, now they've included that functionality in the FPGA. I just want to make sure. I noticed that you're not a C or C++ programmer. Okay, now exactly with this, C++ and C# and all that stuff, programming. Currently, hopefully you guys have been watching what I'm doing with what I call quant analytics with all these toolboxes. Just going over virtually all the basics in terms of math, strategy development, all the different toolboxes like the econometrics, the finance, which I just posted last week. This is the general crust that starts you off in strategy development. So that's what I'm kind of doing now. I anticipate it's going to be probably 3 weeks before I complete it. But once I get past that, it's going to be a very strong foundation to work off of. And then I can start moving into things like Simulink development and all that. I know that's a very long-winded answer for you, Kuz. Hopefully that I've answered that at the best of my ability for all your specific questions. Is there anything else you might have, Kuz, that I'm not addressing here, or anything that you want to follow up with? Like I said, I posted already this info, and I'm just going through on this post right here on the blog. So if there's anything else you want to follow up on, let me know via email, and I'll post that. And yeah, we can continue the discussion regarding your needs. So does anybody else have any questions? I know Kelly just came aboard, Marvino just came aboard, and a few others. Because, like I said, I just want to make sure I'm addressing your needs and you understand the direction I'm going in with the analytics and the next set of steps after that. Anybody got any further questions at all? If you want to just type them away. Everyone right now is kind of muted. I am recording the webinar as well, just so that we can eliminate all the background noise. If anybody wants to speak, please let me know, and I'll just I'll unmute you. So this webinar is about you guys. I want to make sure that we're addressing everything. I mean, I can show you some of the manuals, the PDF user guides. If you want to see that, I can show you the directory for that and show you a general walkthrough where I'm getting all this information from and all the examples. I can show you that if you'd like to see that. Is there anything else you'd like to know about where we're going, or so on and so forth? Anybody got any further questions? And let me know, Kus, if I've answered your question. Nobody? Okay. I'm going to unmute you, Kelly. Kelly, are you out there?
Greetings. Can you hear me very well?
Yep, I can hear you, man.
Just want to thank you for the amount of detail that I feel like you're exposing me to and allowing me to learn.
Yeah.
I'm not, since I'm, of all the tasks I need to accomplish, I can't add learning how to code on top. So what I'm, well, for a number of reasons, but the point is how much I appreciate this, and looking over your shoulder I'm learning a lot just in terms of how these pieces come together.
Right.
Also, and so I really feel like a lot of my questions would be, not that interesting for the rest of the group, and and also not that well informed. But and frankly, I got pulled off of my plan to prepare for this by an urgent call from a colleague who needed help with a project, and I've spent all afternoon on that.
No worries.
you just got a text message, they want me to take a phone call. So I'm unfortunately, and my wife scheduled something too. So nobody else on this list needs or cares about all this, but so I'm just going to have to be kind of a low impact person this evening.
Okay.
And but it's just a temporary, you know, kind of a hiatus in a way here for me. But
okay.
I'm enthusiastic about what you're doing and really looking forward to continuing with you as you go down this path of learning the way you have been. It's just been a phenomenal experience to be able to be with you on this.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Well, what I can do is, if anybody's got any other questions, just let me know. Just type them out. Goose, I got you unmuted as well, if you are able to speak. I can, like I said, I can unmute anybody. I know Marvino's probably got some questions, hopefully. What I'm doing basically, just so you guys know, I don't know if you've seen this before, I have a folder here on my desktop, and let me just show you how involved we're talking here in terms of all the user guides. These are all the user guides that you can get once you purchase Matlab, or you have access to this through their MathWorks site and their license manager. You can tell there's a ton of user managers. These are each for the Matlab toolboxes. So let's say, in my case, I've gone over these two, the econometrics and the finance. So let me just show you that. As you can see here, it's a standard PDF. It's over almost 800 pages, and what it just goes on and on about that, all kinds of functionality you can find in these PDFs. So what I'm doing is I'm going through them, gleaning through them, and anything that can be related to anything to do with forecasting in terms of the market, that's what I'm posting. And the nice thing with these manuals, I don't know if you've ever gone through Microsoft's old school documentation. It's of the same quality. The nice thing I like about this is that you get very detailed examples of the functions, and there's some good detail of what they do. There's some examples. All of this is available online. What I typically do is just go, I don't know, good example is, you know, I go to Google, do a Matlab, and then that function name. That's how I do that standard search. And then you'll get the same help for that online. And you can also, if you have the Matlab, you can just type in help, whatever, and that's how you get the function. And just the documentation is of stellar quality. So that's where I'm getting all this information from. So essentially, like I said, I've got the standard econometrics I just posted last week, the finance one I just posted last week, or sorry, the financial. And right now, as of today, I'm posting things like this one, the math, which is the standard MATLAB base set of functions that you get when you purchase MATLAB, minus all the toolboxes. So I'm working on this one, and the next one I'm working on is the key one I'm finding is the Statistical Toolbox. This one you can see is almost 3,000 pages. I'll be spending a lot of time here, but this is where you can find a lot of cool market forecasting, we'll call it, through this. So you can find things like Bayes, which is pretty popular. There's also Markov can be found in here, Markov chains. So I'll be going through all that later in the week. And that's a general direction I'm going in. So I have a list of these PDFs that I'm looking at, but where it gets very exciting is if you come to the top, you'll see all these Simulink PDFs that are available. So when you start getting into the Fpga stuff, you can go into the FPG or into the Simulink coder to create all your code from your Simulink model. You have all the different areas of Simulink. It's just an incredible amount of info here. So that's the direction I may go in. And with all these new additions that MATLAB's or MathWorks brought in the 2013 version, let me just give you an update there. I think it's called Matlab Trader Toolbox. This is a new feature in 2013. This toolbox now, as I said, enables you to trade right out of either XTrader or the Bloomberg EMS SX Trader. So they're filling those gaps that MATLAB has. So this can impact the future of things like, do I go with Deltix, do I stick with, or do I go with an XTrader as a trading platform, or do I use this Bloomberg service? So it just depends. Yeah, so that's where we're at. So does anybody have any questions about that or anything else at all? That's the direction I'm generally going in. If you want, I can unmute, as I said, I can unmute you, or I can answer via the chat. As I said, this is all about you. I have no formal presentation tonight. I'm just keeping you up to date on where I'm at, but I want to make it available for you guys to have any questions on any of the toolboxes I've already posted about the econometrics or the finance. Is there any comments or concerns you guys have, maybe, or what you'd like to see? I've already addressed some of the comments from a person by the name of Bart, or I'm going to probably do another posting for him with his comments, but he's not online to address that. As I said, Goose, have I answered all your questions at all? Oh, Marvino's got a question. Okay, I'm just going to repeat the question so it can be recorded and it can be part of the playback. Okay, any thoughts on using visual non-coding platforms such as Prodigo or ADL by trading technologies for preliminary algo modeling for us new programmers? Okay, yeah, I've seen this ADL in the XTrader from Trading Technologies. That is a possibility, but the problem is then it kind of eliminates the need of MATLAB. I haven't seen the full functionality of ADL as it is compared to this ADL, but I can show you the Simulink. I don't know if you've seen this, Marvino, but I'm just bringing up Simulink right now. The nice thing with Simulink is you can visually build your model through a variety of what they call blocks. So I'm just going to wait for my Simulink to load up here. And basically you can visually build your model from that, and then you can also then generate your source code from that. I think I might have a memory problem here. I hate when this happens. Yeah, let me just close my Firefox. There we go. Okay, so my Simulink is now loaded. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new canvas, or new model canvas, we'll call it. And I don't know if you've seen this or you guys have seen this, but this is very powerful for visual type of programming. I'm just going to randomly pull these coding blocks here, or block diagrams. And what you can do is you can build visually your model. Okay, so it's no different than a flowchart. You can go into each block and then work with the parameters that come with it. And there's literally dozens and dozens of these code blocks, dozens. You can develop a code block around custom M functions. So the visualization to build a model within MATLAB can be done within Simulink. And not only that, but here's the really powerful part of Simulink, is you can now code generate this model into something like a C++. Let me just wait till it loads up here. Oh, no. My mistake. And here. Okay, let me just load up the code generation options. Okay, now this is a separate toolbox outside of the Simulink, but here you have your programming languages, C or C++. Okay, so you can now generate your model and code generate into either C or C++, which is pretty powerful. Also, another big thing you can do with Simulink is HDL, which is really meant for Fpga. And again, you can do the same thing, same model, generate either to C, C++, or VHDL or Verilog. Now, these are the proprietary languages for Fpga for either the Verilog, or which are either the Altera or the Xilinx boards. And these are the native programming languages for those boards, which are Fpga boards. So visually, yes, you can do it within Simulink now, or you always have been, but this is the direction of kind of taking it, because you can port it into an Fpga board. And don't forget, with the new version of Matlab, the 2013 version, you can now execute your trades from these models. And again, you can visually develop them. So hopefully that would address a non-programmer's needs. Let me know if that helps you out, Marvino, because this is a big advantage for guys like yourself that might not have the coding chops, let's say, but you still can develop some pretty high-end code from the code generation capabilities of this code generation or the HDL code generation. And again, it's all visual. That's the nice thing about this method. Any other questions or comments at all you guys got? It's all about you guys. Let me know. Any comments? I don't mind mentioning some stuff. Now, it's going to get kind of exciting as I get more into the advanced models. One example is the System Identification Toolbox. This is going to be an amazing capability once I go through that exercise. It's just an amazing tool that you can build a very powerful. Let me just mute. There you go. Sorry, Marvino. You can build some powerful strategies from this toolbox, which is now part of the Simulink, which again you can generate your code from this model. And with my guy who's helping me out, Dan, who's a real good Matlab guy, we both agree this is the best way to build strategies, is using this toolbox with Simulink and being able to code generate from it. Anybody else got any questions or comments or anything? Kelly, if you're out there, if you got any questions, doesn't matter how low level or how much of a beginner, it might benefit everybody if you have any questions at all. If you want to think of anything, I'll try my best to address it. Anybody else? No? Everybody's all shy tonight? Like I said, these webinars are for you guys. You guys help me continue the research. I got to thank you for your continued support. Without you, I wouldn't be able to get as far along as I am where I'm at now. So I owe you guys a big thank you for being part of the membership. Like I said, I just want to make sure I'm meeting your needs. Anybody got any further questions? Oh, here we go. Is MathWorks part of matlab.org? Marvino, the question is very simple. If you go to MathWorks, here at mathworks.com, that's the company that makes Matlab. And Matlab is pretty well the only product that MathWorks makes is Matlab. There's some other smaller engineering product. But majority of MATLAB is part of the MathWorks, who is the software vendor behind MATLAB. No worries, Marvino. If you guys got any other questions at all, I can more than... I'm hoping to be, just so you guys know, I'm hoping to be what they call a certified service partner of MATLAB. What does that mean for you guys? It enables me to provide, if you don't have MATLAB, it enables me to provide right out of the gate the ability to give you guys trial editions of MATLAB and any of the toolboxes. That's a 90-day trial. So you'll be able to use the tools that I'm using, and again, it's all trial-based. So I'm hoping to get that support from MathWorks on that. You know, I'm not sure. I'm going to try to set up the same arrangement with an Xtrader as well, so I can start doing some educational sort of stuff as I may look at Xtrader as a platform to go with. And it's very high HFT ready as well, Xtrader. Anybody else got any questions? Kelly?
Am I unmuted?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I was just typing a question, but I'll go ahead and express it verbally. And it's related. It's not so much on the specific of the algorithms and the kind of technology that, or rather the software that you're working with. It's more, my question is related in terms of the hardware. I mean, we are talking about the field programmable gate array capabilities and so on, but when it comes to the specs of a system that would be required in order for this software to function, and the hard coding to function, have you already laid that out someplace that you want to direct me to, or can you comment on that? Or
I'm just pulling up. I have a ton of articles on that in the blog. I'm just trying to think of any examples of any servers that you could go with. Just trying to think of. There's a website. I'm trying to remember the name of it. This might be an example here. Yeah. Okay. So this link right here is one of the ones that I posted a few. When did I post this? Might have been this would have been last fall. But this is a typical configuration right here from IBM, like a server for high frequency trading. It's it's an IBM server. I was just actually talking to somebody about Dell earlier, and they're spending about $4,000 on a server. He's a real-world quant guy, and he's looking at Xeon processor, dual core or dual Xeon processors, quad core. Actually, his is a little faster, 64 gigs of RAM, solid-state drive where everything resides on. It's running between anywhere from $3,000 to $4,000. So this is just one example of one server. Just depends upon what you're kind of wanting to do with it. But either way, I think this would be just a good example of what is required if you're going full out on a server. I've heard of some expenses or some servers costing up to 15 grand, but it seems 3,000 to 4,000 is the typical cost for a production server, let's say, for high-end trading capabilities. And then there's also if you look up the technology or the hardware requirements for, let's say, Xtrader system requirements, maybe might be a good place to start. I could put these kind of links in as well in the chat mode. See, 4 gigs of RAM is required. Usually, Windows Server. Most that I've seen are using a solid-state drive. I'm hoping this can help you out on typical.
Thank you.
Yeah, typical requirements. You got any other questions at all?
That's excellent. I appreciate that. Thank you.
No worries. No worries. Kelly, or sorry, Goose, you have any questions? Or Mervino? Oh, Mervino's got a couple of questions here. When will we implement a net HFT algo? Will we probably need a collated server? Any names that individual might be able to affordably utilize. Okay, yes, affordability is a question that we all ask. Oh boy, I was trying to think with Kus. There was a service out of New York that's no different than a hosting provider. What they do is I have to get the name of the. Oh, I remember. This is for you as well. The company is called Steadfast Networks. I just thought of it. Let me just show you what I'm referring to. This is a service that you could use as a data center. They both have Chicago and New York locations. I'll put this link in. And what they do is they basically rent a location next to one of the exchanges. So, you know, there's in Manhattan, there's next to the data warehouse for the Chicago. And what they do is they rent out, they lease out their spaces, and you can ship a server into this location. And whatever you put on the server enables you to have pretty well next best thing for co-location. This is what they're originally built around, the Steadfast network. Costs that I've heard were about $600 per server, which is a lot more affordable, if you ask me. And this is something I'm going to be looking at if I get all serious down the line. So hopefully this is one service that can help you out. Now, you're asking when will we implement an HFT algo? That's a good question. As I shown you earlier with all these user guides with the Matlab, it just depends upon how quick I can get through all this stuff. I'm hoping to get this done in a month. If I start moving ahead with Simulink, give it another month, and then I don't know if you've been following me enough, but there's at least 10 different ways to implement an HFT algo. I'm hoping to have something, though, within 2 to 3 months, and like a complete end-to-end platform with a couple of strategies, and then get at least into a paper trading mode. That's what I'm hoping. But as anyone, I'm learning about these analytics and algorithms myself. I'm posting as I go. Yeah, so hopefully for you, Marvino, as an individual trader, the Steadfast is something you may consider because it's a lot more affordable than what I've seen out there. And there might be something better. I know line brokers is a good option, but it's very expensive. I definitely know I couldn't personally afford it. Let me know if that answers your question and gives you a better guidance. Same with you, Kuz. Anybody else got any other questions at all? Okay, cool. Yeah, if you have any other questions, don't be shy. I can never Zoso. I don't know if I'm hoping I got your question. If you have a question, just let me know. Type it away. Let me know if I'll unmute you or whatever, and we can address whatever you need. How often do you guys want me to do this? You want me to do one a week? Would that help? If anybody wants, would you like more of these live webinars? Just to keep you posted on what I'm doing. If you want to let me know. If you got a comment or criticism, let me know now too. Anybody at all?
Brian, am I still unmuted?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to say, I think as you reach kind of natural points of progress,
yeah,
that I would prefer to get it that way than to create some kind of, I mean, I'm not against the idea of setting up a regular feedback.
Yeah.
Although, given the very reasonable fee we're paying to be included, and the fact that you're not really our employee in that sense, you're not our independent contractor.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of projects in the hopper. You've got a tremendous web presence and other things going on. I don't want to add to the things you have to comply with, so to speak. I would like to know that you're making progress and that you're working on the things and how that's going. And then as you reach a certain point, kind of a natural point of where the project, where there's I think you get my meaning. I'm sorry I'm not being very articulate. But there'll be in a lot of projects where there's kind of a natural place where it makes sense to kind of give a report back. I'm not trying to tell anybody else how to think about this, but I'd rather kind of go naturally with the progress that you're making.
Okay. Well, I'll definitely do that because I just don't want to keep posting stuff and not have any input from you guys. You know what I mean? I mean, it's all about you and making sure that you're keeping up with what I'm doing, because the whole idea is that now I have a solid foundation of videos and content that, let's say 3 months down the line, somebody doesn't understand this concept or that concept, I can post them and refer them to something specific that I'm doing now. That's the whole point why I'm doing it. It's just, it's one thing to, say I'm using Garch, but people don't understand what Garch is. But now I'll have a whole series of references and videos and source code that they can understand and base off of from all these postings that I'm putting up. That's the whole point of why I'm spending a lot of time on that. But in 3 months, I'm hoping, or 2 months, whenever I start implementing stuff, I'll start really expediting the implementation of these strategies and getting them into some type of live trading environment. However, if it's with Xtrader or Matlab. Let me know if that answers your question, Kelly.
Yeah, well, it does. And one of the questions I've had actually, as I look at your presence on LinkedIn and YouTube and the other things that you're involved in, is the kinds of interactions that you're getting from people who are on the same journey you're on, or that have maybe are more, let's say, knowledgeable or accomplished in terms of their professional role in all of this, and they're looking at you, or they've seen your work, and they may be giving you feedback or suggestions or hints, or even trying to direct you in certain ways, whether in a helpful fashion or whatever. I'm just kind of curious about some of the, because you are so, you do have such a presence, and your journey and your tasks, you've shared so much, not just with us, but that's available to others to see. What are you getting in the way of other people's feedback or information?
Well, I'm not sure if you've seen Marvino's. Thanks a lot, Marvino, where he's saying, I'm very pleased with the content and style of periodic updates. Great job. Brian, that's the typical. Kusa's been saying the same thing, and I'm really appreciative of everybody saying that sort of stuff. I've also had people that are waiting on me to get the Simulink presentations, and what am I going to do with Simulink. So I have people waiting on me to get to that point. So I have a lot of people that are very advanced. I have a lot of people that are fairly new at this. So I'm trying to address everybody as much as I can. And I'm hoping once I get past these 3 weeks, all the intermediate and beginner stuff is out of the way, and then I can start working on the more advanced stuff with the Simulink and all the more advanced programming. So I have a whole whackload of different backgrounds that are part of this membership, and even I'll just say my audience. In terms of the reaction from a lot of people, I do get a lot of positive feedback, which is great, and that's what pretty well encourages me to keep doing what I do. I get the odd person that complains in here and there. You can't avoid that. But generally, it's been really positive, and I'm hoping once I get to the point of where I have something that's advanced with Simulink, a series of models that show profitability, I think that will put this membership, it's going to put it right out there in terms of being one of the only places that you can go online where you can learn about trading, but using a very, very advanced tool like a Simulink within Matlab. And again, what I just showed you in this demo here, using the visual representation, that opens up a new I'll say can of worms, but a whole new set of doors for people that have, I won't say a weaker set of programming skills, but using these type of code blocks, it enables you to really build very sophisticated models through visualization. I kind of believe in that, but at the same time, you're getting the flexibility of being able to generate code. So I'm hoping to get to that point. Once I can build something using this, I think it's really going to blow the doors open for a lot of people, because I'd love to know if there's anywhere else you can learn about how to build a trading platform using a tool like Simulink. So that's where I'm hoping to take it in the next few months. Let me just get back to Marvino's. I think you should do them at your discretion, not burden your feeling with us piecemeal. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying, Marvino. I go at my own pace. I've been told I'm a captain of my own ship. I don't like to use that as an attitude or whatnot, but what I'm finding is I'm turning away a lot of consulting gigs where people come to me and say they want this strategy built or this database or whatever. I turn those away because I'm putting this membership as my top priority, and it's pretty well my only way of living or earning living, let's leave it that, or my own source of revenue. But as I said earlier, my goal is to get this type of thing with the Simulink, where I have a trading model that can go live and trade with it, and hopefully have it be profitable. That's my goal. And once I get to that, then, you know, when you look at all the content that I provide in the membership, you're getting complete end-to-end from how to build a model, how to use something like a Matlab, how to execute trades, how to handle data, It's a big world to be involved with, to understand trading. But my goal, well, part of my goal is to have like a one-stop shop where you can learn all this stuff and try to, I won't say the easiest way, that's kind of an understatement. This overwhelms a lot of people out of it, for sure. But as I said, my goal is to be able to say, okay, here's a Simulink model. You can now implement it on whatever platform you want using this code generation of the C or the HDL, and that's the goal for the membership, and hopefully the next few months. Does that answer your question, Marvino? And probably Kelly as well. I'm pretty long-winded tonight. You guys got any other comments or anything? 10-4. Awesome. Roger and out, I guess. Sorry, Zil. So I'm hoping I'm getting your name right. Let me ask you guys about the time. I've got a lot of people that are in Europe and let's say Asia, China. What's the best time for you guys to do this? I do it 7 p.m. Eastern because most people say they want to do it outside of the hours of trading for New York. I mean, I'm pretty flexible. I can do it in the mornings where it's at night for people in Europe, or maybe in China where they could be, you know, in the morning. What's a good time to do in person for people? If you want to throw out some times for me. If you guys want to chat her up. Sorry, Kelly, I just had to mute you. You guys got any ideas on what time you'd like to see this at? During the day? Would weekends work for you guys? Or is this time good enough? So I had people come in. I know I got who's from Netherlands. Marvin, I'm not sure where you're from. I know, Kelly, you're in Kansas. So I'm not sure if you're in the States or where you're from.
Hé? Is dat nou gebleven?
Okay. Oh, Marvino's in California. Okay, so you're 3 hours behind me. Okay. Okay, well, does this time work for you guys? 7 p.m. Eastern Standard? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, I'm not sure. Okay, this time is good for me, but I can be flexible on behalf of others if necessary. I'm good, and unfortunately, I have to attend other matters here. Thanks for the progress. No problem, Kelly. Thanks for coming out. Actually, I'll probably wrap it up fairly soon. As I said, this is being recorded. But have a good night. Thanks for coming out, and thanks again for the support, man. Anybody else got any questions? I can unmute anybody that wants to be unmuted. Anybody out there? Okay, Marvina says this time works for him. Anybody got any comments, concerns? And then if not, we'll just wrap it up. We can do this next week if you want. As I said, I'll be working on the statistics and math toolbox, maybe some other ones as well, but they're all math-based. Anybody else got any comments? Otherwise, I can wrap it up. It's only been, well, an hour for this webinar. You guys got any further questions or comments? Kus, I'm not sure if I've addressed your concerns. Let me know. I'm going to unmute you. You out there, Marvina? Or, sorry, Kus? I'm not sure if your headset works or not, but you are unmuted if you got a question.
Hello.
Yeah, hi, Kus. How are you?
Hi.
Hi.
You can hear me. Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Good.
It's like a radio show.
Did you see my email?
Yes, I did. Did you? I posted my response to you in two ways. Okay. I've addressed. Let me just get to that. Hang on here. I just posted this. I just posted actually this posting. I just posted on the blog is for you. Also, I spent a good 10 minutes explaining the whole this whole Word document on your answers.
Very good.
So let me know if you got any further questions. We can continue the discussion if you like. You can just email me. Well, you got my email, right? feedback@quantlabs.net.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's in the chat or chat mode right there, in case you don't. If you got any further questions, let me know. Your best bet, if you have any further questions, you might want to post comments here at the bottom. I'm not sure if that's something you want to do. If you got anything private, let me know. Does that help you out?
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay. Okay. Marvino, you got any further questions? If you got any other questions, who's just say so. If not, we'll just give it a wrap for tonight. Zozo, I keep apologizing. Anybody got any questions, comments, criticisms? It's coming up. No, I'm good. Okay, thanks, Brian. No problem. No problem. I'm gonna post this webinar later tonight, hopefully, or maybe tomorrow on the membership. Zozo, you don't have any questions? I just put up my email if you got any further questions. Might do another webinar next week. So what we'll do is I'll do going once, twice. Otherwise, if not, Marvina just left already. So I'll just do a going once, twice. If you got any questions, let me know. Going once, twice, 3 times a baby. Okay, so we'll wrap it up. Thanks a lot for coming out tonight, or today. Well, today for most people, it sounds like. But thanks. I'll post another webinar for you guys, and we'll go from there and keep your eyes out in the membership. Thanks for your input. Thanks for your support. Have a good night, dudes, guys. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up. I'll close the webinar now. Okay, have a good night.